2 goals apiece for both teams through 15 minutes of play at the Dome. Syracuse and Northwestern tied, and the Orange have some returners back, but they're also missing some key pieces, especially Emily Harris-Chuck, career leading scorer here at SU.
That's a big loss. Obviously, anyone who holds a record at Syracuse is going to be someone that you feel has graduated. But Syracuse had experience without her. She had torn her ACL in 2021, so they had known what it was like playing without Harris-Chuck, but she is a big-time scorer. She dropped a lot of goals on the first meeting against Northwestern as well.
On the other side, Northwestern loses its leading scorer last season in Lauren Gilbert, and also Jill Girardi, who was so important as a draw taker.
They were both dynamic and they worked so well together. Lauren Gilbert had the fastest first step I thought in Division I last year, and Jill Girardi was just so tough and gritty, and combined they were a lethal tandem.
Gilbert had 5 and Girardi had a hat trick in that loss to North Carolina we mentioned before the break. And that Syracuse loss to Northwestern to end the Orange season last year, Gilbert had 4. Wildcats outscored Syracuse 6-2 in Martin Stadium and never looked back after that first quarter. Mishevsky and Smith have been out there for every single draw. 5 of them in the first quarter. Syracuse took 3. And now we're even.
And that's what Mishevsky wants back. She had it right in her stick and just misjudged the bounce.
The Cats set up on offense. Koikenol and Taylor have scored. Here is Koikenol, the senior from Spencerport. About an hour and a half away from SU. Koikenol actually played in front of Gary Gaydon Middle School at the Syracuse Nike Cup and played against Emily Harris-Chuck.
The Nike Cup was a great event. I think I was at the first one ever.
You've got some youth experience with people on this field as well. You went to Kelly Monte-Hiller's camps growing up.
I did, and when I was asking my parents for a picture,
Koikenol almost converts.
They reminded me that it was before the age of digital cameras, so that was really a nice reminder of where I was at then. A little dating myself.
A lot of connections between these two schools, going back to Maryland, where Kelly Monte-Hiller played under Gary Gate. Skane with space. She finds Twine. Izzy Skane is back on the scene. After 98 goals in 2021, she gets her first of 2023.
You can't help but smile when you see her fist pump and all of her teammates come right up and give her a big hug. That's a long-awaited goal for Izzy Skane, and it was really just simple. A slow slide from Syracuse. Izzy Skane, low-angle shot, but she placed it perfectly in the top right corner. Just patient, and that's got to feel good for her.
See the emotion coming out of the school record holder for goals. Those 98 back in 21. Skane now with 12 career points against SU in now 5 games. I'd say, hey, that's pretty good, but you got to keep in mind, Skane averages over 5 points per game in her career. Now 4-year starter for Monte-Hiller and the Wildcats. Serafina DeMuno now out opposing Kate Mishevsky. Both these players with some height at 5'10". How does that help on a draw?
Well, the ball goes up. If you can reach it and you're taller than your opponent, that certainly helps.
Can you play for a certain type of draw where you flick it up over your opponent?
Yeah, I think that coaches allow for or teach different approaches. If you have a height disadvantage, they teach you how to get it away and protect the ball in that way. But it certainly helps just because you can't control it perfectly every single time as a draw taker. So when it does go straight up, being tall is an advantage.
Northwestern's 1-2 in this quarter, but Syracuse got possession right back. Superior Clark draws a whistle, and the Orange take it to the left end. Have not seen Emma Tyrell yet today, but Ward and Cockrell back after season-ending injuries a season ago. Here comes Maddie Baxter, a burst of speed. The bouncer just wide.
That's the first real hard dodge we've seen from Baxter, and Coach Kayla Trainer mentioned that she had developed a lot as a member of Team Canada, so it's nice to see her go hard to cage like that.
Said without Baxter, Team Canada doesn't win that goal. She's brought confidence back to Syracuse. Here is Ward, cross crease pass. Carney's already got 2 for the Orange, but hounded.
That was a nice handle by Meg Carney. That pass was behind her. Emma Ward has to get that in front of her, away from the Northwestern defender.
Here comes Schweitzer, loses her balance. Check all over, a little head tap from Bolin. And Syracuse gets a 12-meter restart. Ward a space, feed inside, just behind Carney. Second chance, Adamson. Right place, right time for Olivia Adamson. We go back to level at 3.
Right place, right time, but also Olivia Adamson did a great job just following the play, and that's a great example of attackers always staying engaged. You never know where the ball is going to go. She reacted perfectly. It's sometimes pretty difficult to handle a ball that, you know, was a miss, but she handled it perfectly, picked it up off the bounce, found the net, and just had a wide open net to be able to shoot on.
Why'd she find herself wide open? There was no one within about 5 yards of her.
Well, I don't think the pass was intended for her. I think it was intended for Carney. It just missed Carney by a little bit. Maybe what I thought looked like it got deflected a little bit, which makes that even a more difficult play. But Adamson was able to read the ball and follow the play.
The only player to score against Northwestern last year, besides Megan Tyrell, that is, in the NCAA tournament, gets one today.
Adamson had a really strong end to the season, and as a freshman and now a sophomore, having that experience to then carry into the next year is great for confidence.
Seems like every year Syracuse has one of those breakout freshmen. Emma Ward 2 years ago and Adamson last year. She filled out a questionnaire before her freshman year saying that she just wanted to contribute to the team in any way possible, whether that was garbage time minutes, scout team action. Adamson's chipped in a big-time way. Delay of game green card coming out.
That looked like they had called a foul and she hadn't given the 2 yards of space. Not sure if she didn't hear the initial whistle or what, but you're intended to give space when there is a whistle. So there's the foul, must have called it there, and then she continued to pursue the ball. Yes, you see the official has their arm up, acknowledging the foul, so that is the reason for that green card. So it's 1 minute player up for Northwestern.
And Syracuse without a starting defender on that woman down unit. Chevery in the box. Up top for Skane, slashes through the defense, shot deflected. Smith with the stick check. And Syracuse a little breathing room after Goodale draws the whistle. Northwestern riding like banshees, but this time a break from the officials. And now Goodale chopped in the face. Yellow card for contact to the head on Izzy Skane. A big focus for officials last year, that head contact.
And that's an easy call for the official. Anytime you see that the swipe of the stick knocked Goodale's goggles off, that's an immediate yellow card. 2 minutes on the bench for Izzy Skane, and that just seems to be a little bit of a frustration play, you know, a little bit a turnover. As an attacker, you have to stay composed and just ride hard, but without fouling like that.
Two players that are probably going to see a lot of each other sitting down. Now we've got another check to the head.
Another illegal stick-to-head contact there. on Goodale. She's had 2 in a row, just 1 trip down the field.
Johanna Kingsfield that time making contact.
Doesn't seem like they called it a stick-to-head contact because I see there's just a 1-minute penalty. It was a green card.
We've got Emma Tyrell in the field for the first time. The fans recognize it too. Cheer comes up from behind the orange bench on the left side. And Bianca Chevry's time in the box has expired. So Syracuse 2 women up. Kingsfield has 30 more seconds. Skane 1:20 left on her violation. Orange looking for their first lead since Kearney's first goal just over 30 seconds in. Double fake handoff and the feed to the middle. Emma Tyrell! The sister-to-sister connection pays off. Back from the season-ending injury, Emma scores.
It doesn't get more special than that. And you can tell they feel it too. Emma Tyrell all smiles. She's waiting in the middle, knowing that the timing is going to come. They get the ball low to her sister Megan, and just immediately you know that Megan Tyrell has her eyes up. Emma Tyrell timed that perfectly. The ball swings from high to low. As soon as the ball hit, she started her cut, right hand up, just keeping it simple, and that moment is just so special for them as sisters and the team itself.
Megan said her sister works the best off the ball, always finding those gaps to cut through.
Well, they've had a lot of practice as sisters to figure it out, so